So you're trying to read a book, but you've just read the same page 3 times. Why? Because your mind is already jumping ahead to tomorrow's to-do list, figuring out dinner, and dwelling on that one email you forgot to send. Sound familiar? You feel scattered, pulled in a million different directions, and a sense of calm feels completely out of reach. This isn't just you. It's practically the default setting for modern life. Experts call it continuous partial attention, a state where we're always scanning everything, but truly focusing on nothing, mostly because we're terrified of missing out. This keeps our brains in a constant low-grade crisis mode, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, and just unfulfilled. But what if the key to getting your focus back, to finding a little peace in the middle of all the chaos, wasn't about adding another thing to your plate? No complex productivity hacks, no drastic life changes. What if it was about one simple, powerful shift in your awareness? A power you already have, just waiting to be used. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to harness this power to turn your most boring, everyday routines into moments of genuine presence and calm. Let's be honest. Feeling mentally scattered has become the background noise of our lives. We'll check our email during a conference call, text a friend at the dinner table, and scroll through social media while a movie is on. We call it multitasking and tell ourselves we're being efficient. But the science is crystal clear. We're not multitasking. Our brains are just switching tasks really, really fast, and it comes at a serious cost. This isn't about being productive. It's driven by a deep, anxious need to be a live node on the network, to never miss a single thing. When we do this, our brains get flooded with the stress hormones adrenaline and cortisol, keeping us in a state of hypervigilance. This constant scanning messes with our memory, kills our creativity, and makes it harder to make thoughtful decisions. When we're overloaded, we tend to play it safe, often missing out on better, more creative choices. The fallout from this spills into every part of our lives. Our work suffers because that state of deep focus or flow gets broken into a million tiny pieces. Our relationships get strained because we're only ever half present, which makes people feel unseen and unheard. And maybe worst of all, our own inner world becomes a pretty chaotic place. We get stuck in a reactive mode, always responding to things instead of acting with intention. We lose the ability to just be, to find contentment right here, right now, because our attention is always hijacked by the past or worried about the future. Look, this isn't a personal failing. It's how we've been conditioned to respond to the world around us. Technology is literally designed to keep us hooked. But the answer isn't to run away from the world. It's to change our relationship with it. And that starts by changing our relationship with our own attention. The antidote to a scattered life isn't managing your time better. It's managing your attention better. So what is this one simple shift? It's the conscious act of redirecting your attention. It's moving from being lost in the endless stream of your own thoughts to simply noticing them. It's the shift into presence. Presence is a state of alert, non-judgmental stillness. It's not about emptying your mind. That's impossible. It's about filling your mind with a single conscious point of focus. And the most direct, easiest way to do that is with something you have with you right now, your breath. This is where it all begins. Not with some huge effort, but with a single conscious breath. This is our first, most important practice. The next time you feel your mind racing, or anxiety creeping in, or the pull of a dozen distractions at once, just pause. For a moment, bring your attention to the physical sensation of your breath. Feel the air coming in through your nose, filling your lungs, your belly rising. Then feel your belly fall as the air leaves your body. Don't try to change your breathing. Don't judge it as good or bad. Just notice it. Each breath is an anchor to right here, right now. When you focus on it, you pull your awareness out of the chaos of your thoughts and ground it in the reality of your body. It's a simple move, but the effects are huge. Neuroscience shows that mindful breathing can trigger a unique state of relaxed alertness, and even create measurable changes in brain waves linked to focus and calm. Let's go back to our friend, Alex. Alex usually starts his day in a full-blown panic. The alarm goes off, and his mind is instantly flooded with the day's worries. A big deadline, a tough conversation, an overflowing inbox. His heart is pounding before his feet even hit the floor. But this time, he tries something new. He sits on the edge of his bed, and for just 60 seconds, he focuses on his breath. He doesn't try to fight his anxious thoughts. He just keeps redirecting his attention. Inhale, exhale. He starts to feel the tension in his shoulders ease up a little. The storm in his mind hasn't disappeared, but he's found a small, quiet harbor inside of it. That's the first step. By choosing where to put his attention, even for a minute, he's gone from being a victim of his thoughts to being the observer of them. This simple practice, done for a few moments whenever you think of it, builds your presence muscle. It becomes a tool you can pull out anytime, anywhere, to step out of the noise and back into the calm. The real magic of attention happens not just when we're sitting still, but right in the middle of our busy lives. Our days are full of routine things we do on autopilot. Washing dishes, brushing teeth, walking to the car. We see them as chores to get through. But what if they were opportunities? What if every single one was an invitation to practice presence? This is the second practice. Bring your full sensory awareness to a routine activity. When you're washing the dishes, don't just wash the dishes. Really feel the warm water on your hands. Smell the soap. Hear the sound of the sponge on the plate. See the shimmer of the bubbles. When you give your full attention to something simple, it stops being a chore and becomes a mindfulness exercise. You're not just cleaning a dish, you're anchoring yourself in the now. Think about Alex again. His morning commute used to be a stressful blur of traffic and mentally rehearsing for the day. Now he tries driving mindfully. He pays attention to the feeling of his hands on the steering wheel. He notices the color of the sky, listens to the sound of the engine. When his mind wanders off to his upcoming meeting, he gently notices the thought and brings his focus back to the experience of driving. The traffic is just as bad, but his experience of it is completely different. He arrives at work feeling centered instead of frazzled. You can apply this to anything. When you eat, just eat. Turn off the TV, put down your phone, and actually taste your food. Notice the flavors, the textures, the colors. When you shower, feel the water on your skin. When you walk, feel your feet on the ground. Every routine is a chance to step out of your head and into the aliveness of your body, weaving calm and awareness into the fabric of your day. If these ideas are clicking with you, and you're ready to take your focus back from the chaos, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications. We explore these topics all the time, and we'd love to have you in our community. So much of our day is just reacting, right? An email lands and we feel instant stress. A colleague says something and we get defensive. We just bounce from one reaction to the next with no space in between. This third practice is all about creating that space. It's about sprinkling short, intentional pauses of stillness throughout your day. Before you walk into a meeting, before you make that call, before you reply to that tricky email, just pause. Close your eyes for 30 seconds. Take 1 or 2 deep, conscious breaths. This tiny pause acts like a circuit breaker. It stops the momentum of unconscious reaction and lets you enter the next moment with fresh awareness, instead of carrying the baggage from the last one. Alex used to walk into his weekly team meeting already on edge, expecting a fight. And it usually became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, before he enters the conference room, he stands in the hallway for just a moment. He focuses on his breath, feels his feet on the floor, and creates a small gap of stillness. He walks in feeling calm and alert. He finds himself listening more and speaking more intentionally. He's responding to what's happening now, not reacting based on old grudges. These pauses don't have to be long. Even a few seconds can be a game changer. They are little moments where you reclaim your consciousness from the grip of your mind. They are small pockets of freedom that can completely change how you experience and interact with the world. This next practice deepens our connection to both the world and ourselves. It's the practice of looking at something with your full attention and then becoming aware of yourself as the one who is looking. First, pick any object around you. A flower, a pen, a tree outside. Look at it with genuine curiosity, like you're seeing it for the very first time. Notice its details, the color, the texture, the shape. Give it your undivided attention. Then here's the second step. While you're observing the object, become aware of yourself as the awareness doing the observing. Feel that quiet, still presence inside you that is conscious of the act of seeing. There's the object, and there's the knowing of the object. In that moment, a sense of deep stillness can arise. The line between you and what you're looking at starts to soften, and you're left with a feeling of connection to the present moment. Imagine Alex is stuck in a long line at the grocery store, which used to drive him crazy with impatience. Instead of grabbing his phone, he decides to try this. He focuses on an apple in a nearby display. He notices its waxy shine, the subtle reds, its perfect shape. Then he brings his awareness inward. He becomes conscious of himself, just standing there, perceiving the apple. He feels the quiet sense of aliveness in his own body. The irritation just melts away, replaced by a simple, peaceful feeling of being. He didn't change the situation, but he completely changed his experience of it. You can do this anywhere, turning moments of boring waiting into moments of profound stillness. This final practice is maybe the most transformative because it deals directly with our inner world. Most of the time, we are completely identified with our thoughts and emotions. We don't just feel anger, we are angry. We don't just have an anxious thought, we are anxious. This practice is about learning to be the witness to your thoughts and emotions, instead of getting swept away by them. When a strong emotion like frustration comes up, the practice is to simply acknowledge it without judgment. Instead of getting carried away, you take a mental step back and just observe it. You might say to yourself, irritation is here. Feel the emotion as a physical sensation in your body. Where is it? A tightness in your chest? A knot in your stomach? By observing the emotion as a sensation and watching the thoughts that come with it, you create space. You are no longer the emotion. You are the awareness that is noticing the emotion. This doesn't suppress it. In fact, it allows the emotion to be felt and to pass right through you without taking over. You're freeing your consciousness from its grip. One afternoon, Alex gets some critical feedback from his boss. His old pattern would be to spiral into self-criticism and anger for the rest of the day. But this time, he catches it. He feels that jolt of defensiveness, the heat rising in his chest. Instead of getting lost in the story of, "I'm being attacked," he pauses. He takes a breath and says to himself, "Okay, defensiveness is here. I feel it in my chest." He watches the angry thoughts bubble up without latching onto them. He doesn't judge himself for feeling it. He just witnesses it. After a few minutes, he notices the intensity starts to fade. He's able to look at the feedback more objectively and find what's useful, without being consumed by the reaction. That is real emotional freedom. It's not about never feeling negative emotions. It's about not being controlled by them. We started this journey feeling scattered and overwhelmed, pulled in every direction by life's demands. We talked about how this continuous partial attention keeps us stressed out and robs us of our focus, our relationships, and our peace. But we've also discovered that the solution isn't out there somewhere. It's already inside us. It is the simple, powerful act of choosing where to put our attention. Through these 5 practices, we've seen how to reclaim that power. We've learned to anchor ourselves with our breath, turn chores into meditations, and use the pause to break free from reactivity. We've learned to see the world and ourselves with a deeper awareness, and to witness our emotions without letting them run the show. This shift from a scattered mind to a present mind isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice, moment by moment. It's a journey of remembering to come back to your breath, remembering to feel the water on your hands, remembering to pause. Every time you do, you strengthen that presence muscle. You start steering your own ship, rather than getting tossed around by the waves. The chaos of the world might not change, but your ability to navigate it with calm, clarity, and a deep sense of inner peace will be transformed. The power isn't out there. It's right here. It's in your next conscious breath. You can start right now.